Hello friends, I'm Kayla. This is my TBR for March, April, and May. I'm going to let you know some of the books that I'm reading, some of the videos that I'm planning. We also need to pick some things from the members TBR jar. I feel like, should we start here? No, I always get too nervous to start here. What I will do right now though is add in from Team Purple. These are all of the members' book suggestions that have been added in the last month? 2 months? 1 second. Okay, I had to mix it all up on the floor so purple got well integrated. And I'm going to be picking 3 from here today. 1 a month, member suggestions, pull one out, have to read it. We'll put her right there until we're ready. All right, let's get into it. I have quite a few secret TBRs planned for the next couple months. One of them, actually 2 of them I'm already working on. One of them has to do with horror. I'm reading between 5 and 7 titles. Let me tell you 2 of them. One of them is Exquisite Corpse, which I never thought I would pick up, but I am for reasons. And then I'm also reading The Devil Takes You Home, which I didn't get around to in the Goodreads Choice Awards, and it came up in another situation. So I'm going to give it a go now. A lot of people wanted me to try this out in that video, so I'm excited to get around to it. This is the one about there being a drug cartel to Mexico, and I don't really know what else happens. I mean, the devil's in the title, so we can assume. And then Exquisite Corpse is the one that I talked about a while back that was like in a TikTok video that I didn't end up reading. And it has to do with the 2 serial killers who fall in love or something. Good luck to me, truly. And the other video I'm working on, I'll be reading between 5 and 10 things recommended in an interesting way. And this is when I'm going to get around to Binti, which I've talked about. I talked about my last TBR that my last like seasonal TBR was more of a year-long TBR. So now I'm referencing like some more things that were in that video, but then other things that are more seasonally specific. But paired with this is a nonfiction called Radical Acceptance, Embracing Your Life with the Heart of a Buddha, by Tara Brock. This is Nnedi Okorafor. These are very different, but they were recommended in the same capacity, which is fascinating to me. Cannot wait to read them and post that video. Next up, if you want to contribute to my video plans a little bit, I have 2 thoughts for how to get through like a chunk of my physical TBR. I have 2 video concepts and I can go with either one of them. So let me know in the comments below which one you would want me to prioritize. So one of them was last year I made a series of all the books on my TBR. It was a month long, it was 4 videos, I went through every single book. And I wasn't like to build a TBR, it was just to talk everything through. And I mentioned like if anybody has any ideas of how to build a TBR from this, like what you would want me to do. And I got a comment that said, why don't you read the most popular, as in most read, and least read within each genre. And I thought that could be really fun. So it's not about like the highest rated, lowest rated, it's just like most readers. So maybe I can feature some books that not many people have heard of, but then also read some of the most widely read books on Goodreads. So that's concept 1. The other concept I will absolutely be doing someday, but it's like part 2 to the reading 6 years worth of most anticipated books video. So I filmed a video and then I did a follow-up where I picked a book from every year of my most anticipated reads and read a bunch of books. And then there is meant to be a viewer's choice episode to follow, where the comments were full and I already have things selected for it that you thought I should read. I mentioned in my TBR at the beginning of the year and referenced recently that I'm going to be reading Last Sunday at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe soon, and this book would fit into either one of those video concepts. I know it's the most read and it's been recommended the most, but I'm not going to spoil the rest of the TBR for either of those 2. So just let me know which one I should do, and then I'll do the other one maybe like next year or at the end of the year, who knows. What else do I have in the plans? Oh, my 12th grade favorites. My final favorites video is gonna come out this season. As I shared in my 10th and 11th grade episodes, the videos get more and more messy as the years go on because I don't really, like, I think I read less throughout high school. Naturally, I'm studying, applying for universities, social life, that type of stuff. So I'm kind of sliding in books that aren't from 12th grade, they're from other grades, but this is my last opportunity to fit anything in. So I don't remember what year I read Animal Farm, which is why I haven't included it in a favorites, but I need to get to this eventually. One that I know for sure was 12th grade is The Watcher. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that before. Then there's a couple that I'm really excited to read that are definitely from like elementary school, but I only recently remembered that I've ever read. So excited to get to those. Then at some point this season, I'm gonna do another canceled videos video. It's one of my favorite ways to build a themed TBR where I talk through videos that I have planned in the past, never followed through with, and now I'm gonna pick a book from each of those video concepts and read it. So again, not to spoil the entire thing, or why I canceled the video or what the video was even for, but this is the video concept in which I'll be reading The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. I got this really fun edition. It's illustrated, and again, I just realized at this point that I'm not talking about what any of these books are about. I always do this in my TBRs. I'm sure you've read it. You know much more than I do. In addition to video plans, naturally, I have book club plans. So in the month of March, we're reading The Spite House by Johnny Compton. This is about a man and his two daughters who move into this supposed haunted house, and they have to keep track of all the paranormal activity. And then in April, it's The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz, which is about a bunch of authors who go stay at this weird resort, or rather the author who's putting on this like conference weekend getaway is weird and is doing weird things, making them do weird things, and somebody dies. So at this point, like, I want to look at my TBR shelf and I just want to pull a couple things that I'm also interested in and I want to prioritize in the upcoming season, but I also don't want to get too ambitious. So let's just pull two. They have flowers on the cover, and that feels perfect for spring. These are two books that I regret not reading right after the video where I read the first chapter of every book on my TBR. These were like 10 out of 10s for their first section, and I want to get to them sooner than later. So we have A Mind Spread Out on the Ground. This is by Alicia Elliott, and it is about the Indigenous community and depression. It's nonfiction. And then I really want to get to The Last Tale of the Flower Bride by Roshani Chokshi. It's like a gothic fairy tale about a bridegroom who agrees to not look into the past of the woman he's marrying, and then he does, and then something. And now comes the time for the TBR jar. I'm pulling 3 member suggested picks, and I can allot one to each month. I've gotten really lucky with this jar. Like, I've heard of every single book that I've pulled. I've enjoyed most of them. So I'm ready for that to continue, but I'm also ready to pull something that, like, I don't know, I've never heard of or I don't want to read, just because it's fun. I really hope I pull something from each of the groups, like the purple team, the cool team, the original warm team. I'm gonna go deep in here. Okay, we've got an OG one. This has been in here for over a year. The Push! Marissa, sorry. I have read The Push. I didn't like The Push. Actually though, I did tell my members that if I read something already that they've suggested and they see me read it, they can go back to the video and leave another comment. So I'm just gonna go see if Marissa has recommended anything more recently. Okay, I don't see anything newer from Marissa, so we go again. Should I go? Oh gosh, I'm gonna knock everything out of this jar. Okay, we got another one, same color. Several People Are Typing by Calvin Kasulki, recommended by Living Life Literary. I feel like I've heard of this, but I can't picture it and I don't know what it's about. Told entirely through clever and captivating Slack messages, this irresistible, relatable satire of both virtual work and contemporary life is The Office for a New World. Okay, thank you so very much to this bestie for that recommendation. I'm not yet going to commit to a month to read that in until I know what the other picks are. That's so messy. We've got a pinky, corally, I don't know, Indian horse. Indian horse. Always reading season. Thank you so kindly for this because you are pleasing both me and this commenter. This is on my TBR shelf. It is about residential schools and hockey. We have our main character that we're following, and I read the first chapter. It was very short. I remember it having a great impact, and I gave it, did I give it a 10? I might have given it a 10 out of 10. Okay, fantastic news. Now, the third. We've got something on my TBR and something I've never heard of. So this could be anything. I mean, anything could be anything. Oh gosh. Ah, a blue. I'd love to know what you think of Funny Feelings by Tara DeWitt. It's a friends to lovers fake dating romance about comedians. It was one of my favorites from the past year. Okay, if you noticed, I didn't put any romance on my spring TBR, which you'd think maybe that's missing because spring is about love and growth. I don't know that I am in the mood for romance. Oh, I love this cover. I've seen this before. It reminds me of Love Light Farms. I wonder if it's the same illustrator. I don't know how I feel about it being about comedians. Like if that'll be cringy or if I'll love it, but at least I know it'll be like a lighter, more fun romance than a hard-hitting one, probably. Thank you so much to Kate for that. Okay, fun. 3 very different vibes and different colors. I apologize, Team Purple. You didn't get a pick today, but there is always the summer TBR coming up in just a few months. That's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye.